All right. Welcome to Blade HQ, everybody. Today's a very special day because Jared Neve is here.
What's up, George?
Oh, I'm so happy for you to be here.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Jared is one of the bigger knife influencers out there, and he is an expert sharpener.
Oh, I appreciate that.
He's forgotten more about blade steels than I'll ever know, and I'm just thrilled to have him here in the studio with me. And
Very kind words, very kind words. I appreciate that.
Well, thanks. Yes, now today is sponsored by SOG Knives. SOG is one of our favorite brands. SOG. You see them over there. Their branding is quite iconic. That's just SOG.
Yeah, it screams at you for sure.
Yep, and they've got a lot of cool new stuff coming out this year. In fact, during the live, this video is being recorded live, by the way, we're doing some giveaways for their HQ line, including spears. I'll tell you right now, like
somebody's a hog hunter out there.
Somebody's
gonna want it right now.
Yes, but I think I'm a mature adult, but you pick up a spear and you're like,
the kid comes out.
Maturity's gone.
Yeah, right. See ya.
Yep, but they also have a lot of more utilitarian stuff, some self-defense oriented. Like SOG is a brand that has a lot of range.
Yeah,
and especially
for sure. Mm-hmm. And they recently, you guys got a bunch of stuff on the site recently. I was looking at them. I was like, man, they dropped a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they've
a
had
lot
a big
of it looks
year.
great.
They got a new line of flashlights too.
Well, even like their USA stuff. Mm-hmm. Like I love that they're doing USA made stuff, and some of that stuff is so beefy and so tough. Like if I had some on the channel, and it's like, damn, these things are strong. Like they feel really solid, tough. Mm-hmm. So.
Yep, and we're just very grateful for SOG for sponsoring this video. And if you want to get in on giveaways in the future, yeah, we are always doing them in the live stream. So after this ends, you won't be able to see it if you're not watching us in the live. We do a giant giveaway. So make sure to join us every Monday, Mountain Standard Time, noon, for new knives.
There you go.
All right, now we also have some news to talk about, and I'm glad you're here to talk some of it. So first of all you pre-order patient people, Para 2 salts are starting to land. So
that's awesome.
There were way more pre-orders than we got stock of. So some of you guys are gonna get these, but your patience has been rewarded. Yeah, very fun. What do you think of this new texture on the G10?
So I love the texture. I'm not typically a yellow fan, but I understand this because of it's saltwater, right? So it's supposed to be like a fisherman's knife or somebody that's gonna be on the water. And in that case, this is what I'd want. I'd want something bright because if you drop it in the water or drop it anywhere, you want to be able to see it quick. So I completely understand it, and I love Spyderco's Magna Cut. I think that they are doing a phenomenal job, just like all their steels, really. I scream about this on the channel all the time. If you want to try like the best production heat treatment, you want to try it from Spyderco.
Yeah, they spend so much time doing all their heat treat stuff. And I remember Laren Thomas, the guy who cooked up Magna Cut, did a lecture series at Blade Show a couple years ago, and he posted on Instagram. He's like, first person here, 30 minutes early, Eric Glesser sitting in front of the row. I'm going to learn heat treatment.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
that's great.
That was awesome. Okay, by the way, SHOT Show's coming up. A lot of new stuff. So we might see some stuff you might have seen a little bit before today, but that is because there is a fire hydrant ready to turn on full of all the new stuff.
They're saving stuff for the SHOT Show.
Yep, now you've seen some of it, like Cold Steel and SOG. We both posted their new videos just recently. You'll be seeing stuff from CRKT and Kershaw coming up shortly as well. And Benchmade announced some of their new stuff on Instagram today, so go check them out. I think they brought the Bedlam back.
I see it. That looks really cool.
Yep. Also, Jens Onso has left Giant Mouse.
Yeah, that's interesting. I recently talked to him because I got one of his knives that he makes, personally that he makes. It's so good, so good. But yeah, as long as I'm hoping that they're on still good terms. So.
Yeah, from what I've read, it seems that they are. He's just moving on to something new. A lot of his design collaborations at Giant Mouse will still credit him, and I assume that. I mean, I know he and Jens Jesper. Him and Jesper
I'm not
like
going to try it, so you...
Dude, Danish names.
But yeah, I think they got a good relationship, and I think it's always awesome to pivot and move on, to cooler things. Everybody wants to, keep growing, so I think that's awesome. Good for him.
Yep, and we'll still probably see him around the knife industry. I know he's got a few ZT designs, and I wouldn't be surprised to see more from various other brands.
Oh, and then, like I said, some of his designs that he recently did on his own.
His customs.
His customs, yeah.
Yeah, he had one with a peened bronze handle, one of the first knives I ever posted here. I was in love. It's so good. Yep, and then lastly is we have news on the Crucible front.
Yeah.
So for those of you unaware, Crucible is the company that does the raw manufacturing for a lot of the blade steels we know and love. Anything with a CPM in front of it, that's Crucible. Yep. And they have they have filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Yeah.
which is sad to hear.
So I don't know a lot about it. You probably know a lot more than I do about it. I've just heard rumors and stuff, so you give me the information. What's happened?
So Laren actually put out a video today, about a couple hours ago, and he talked about the situation at length. In fact, I would go check out the LionSteel Nerds channel if you want to learn all of the situation. But the short of it is, though they are going bankrupt, they have a bid offer. So on February 4th, there's going to be an auction. And currently the bid is from a company called LionSteel in Europe.
Yep.
And they do a lot of high-speed powder steel, sort of the same thing. And they have made a bid for their factory and all their intellectual property.
Okay. Have they said that they're going to keep the steels?
I think so.
Okay. So they're not planning on buying it and then getting rid of them and doing their own thing, right? They're hopefully planning on continuing them.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of competitors in the industry, like Carpenter and Buller.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of competition.
Yes, and MagnaCut does have a trademark thing that's 35VN, but their compositions are not necessarily trademarked.
Right.
In fact, you can't. That's a patent thing.
Right.
So you could make equivalents of them, kind of like 204P and 20CV to M390. And the big news, though, is Niagara is still going to be running. And so there's a company that makes the steel, there's a company that rolls the steel.
Yep.
And the company that rolls the steel is the one that makes it nice and thin for all of us knife nerds out there.
Yeah.
And Niagara is doing well, and they will continue to roll. So I don't think you're going to see much of a glitch in production or anything, but it is sad that Crucible is going through hard times.
Well, yeah. Hopefully that's true because I know a lot of people have been worried about it. So hopefully it still keeps rolling on, and we don't see too much of a glitch.
See what you did there.
Yeah,
Keeps
you like that?
rolling
Keeps
on.
rolling
I love that. All right, well, that's the knife news section. Let's jump into some new knives, starting with this guy from Buck. So you were telling me earlier about your history of the Buck 19.
Yeah, I grew up with it. Excuse me, I got a cough. Me and my dad had the whole collection from the small one all the way up to the big one. This is obviously the big one. You guys know this from Scary Movie and all kinds of stuff. It's a famous knife for the most part, but growing up with it, it's something that's always going to be, close to my heart because, I grew up with it with my dad, sharpening it and using it. It was like one of our hunting knives.
I imagine you really cut your sharpening teeth on something like this.
Yes, yeah, and the smaller ones. Like I said, we had a set. So, but to me though, as a kid looking at this thing, it's like it looks angry. It looks like something a kid wants to play with. So I was blessed enough to play with it.
My parents would not have allowed such a thing. Yeah, but this is a special edition. Still has the 420HC, Boss Heat Treated, USA made, but we have a red polished micarta handle.
Beautiful micarta. Yeah, I love that micarta.
And a different sheath on this guy. So I brought my 119 over to show the sheath you normally get. It's a full leather. This one's kind of a leather and nylon hybrid with MOLLE compatible on the back.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it comes a little paracord around for retention or what have you.
I don't know if I've seen a lot of that. The combination, like a hybrid.
Yeah, I think it's kind of fun. It kind of feels Buck, but also 21st century.
Yeah.
Yeah, very exciting from Buck, and they're not a terrible price, $94.99. So a special edition, getting you that polished micarta, and I'll tell you, polishing micarta is no joke.
No, but man, they did such a good job on it. The fibers, it looks really good. This is like good micarta. Before even polishing it, you can tell it's really good micarta.
Yeah, it must be a pretty thick block too. So
for sure.
Normally they do like a phenolic resin sort of thing that bowling balls are made out of. But look, I don't see really
a solid
seam
piece
there.
or?
I think that might be a solid piece. Maybe there's a seam.
Maybe
right there.
I mean, yeah, I guess maybe.
Yeah,
it's tough to see if
they did a good job of hiding it.
Yeah, if there is, you can barely see it.
Yeah, they certainly know their stuff.
So you were saying this is micarta.
Yeah.
Right?
So apparently this is one of the first uses of micarta in knives. In fact, I'll bring out my 119 for it. Is these little spacers in the bolsters on these Buck knives.
I never even knew that they were micarta.
Yeah, I mean, if you look really close sometimes, I don't know if we'll catch it on camera, you can see the grain of the fabrics in there. But other than that, it's the phenolic. But yeah, Buck pioneering micarta in knives. Buck pioneered a lot of stuff in knives.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm glad we have them around and that they're still innovating and pioneering and that whole sort of thing. All right. I'm not going to fuss with that snap. Next up, we have ProTech, and these are the new gridlock patterns on the Strider PT models.
Oh, yeah.
We got green, we got purple.
Yeah, I've always liked the PT.
Yes, I will say I checked this morning. The purple is selling really, really fast, and it might be gone already. If not, I would go get it now. But the green we have a bit more of. I don't know what it is with purple. You might know more about this than me. A lot of people into purple this year.
I think it's because I think the knife guys like something different. I think when you see the same old, and then something comes out and it's different, I think we just want it, because it stands out. Yeah, it's like a different flavor, everybody wants to try the new flavor.
Yep. But in other parts of the knife, we have a mother of pearl button on these, CPM MagnaCut blade, deep carry pocket clip, USA made ProTech. It's great. $265 is starting. If you want coatings or other, like maybe the bronze, aluminum, whatever, it'll get more than that.
That mother of pearl's really nice. Mm-hmm. Two-tone blade. This one's got the stone-washed finish.
Yep, stonewashed, and that one's just the straight aluminum button, I believe.
Yeah, they're doing a great job with their MagnaCut too.
Yep, love some ProTech. Next up, Boker Kalashnikov. This one is one of the most hotly anticipated knives. People have been harassing me in the comments for almost 3 years. They want the purple one. They want the Mace Windu. Yeah, we're calling this one the Purple Rain, R-E-I-G-N, R-E-I-G-N, Rain.
Like rain.
Reign of the King.
Yeah.
Yep, this one is finally here, guys, so you can quit bothering me in the comments. It's here going for $64.95, D2, and the other big thing here is we have a new pocket clip on this guy. So I brought my Kalashnikov as well. We're used
I
to
like
sort
the
of
new clip.
I like the new one too. This
it
one
better.
kind of added just a little bit of grip, but that's a big clip.
That's a very big clip.
This one, quite a bit smaller.
These are very comfortable in the hand, though.
Yeah.
Regardless of the clip, they're super comfortable knives.
Yep.
That's one thing that always stood out to me with this thing is just how comfortable it is when you squeeze it.
But other than that, we got the aluminum handles, painted finish. It's a Kalashnikov through and through.
Very cool.
Yes. Next up, I want to hear your thoughts on this guy. Tenable Fenrir.
Yeah. So they had the concept version, because Tenable is their budget line. So the concept version was a titanium model, titanium frame lock. It was actually like a reverse bolster, because instead of the bolster being up here with a frame lock, it was the opposite. But now they have Tenable, which is their budget line, and they're basically making budget models of their premium and popular models. So I was excited to see this particular one because I really like the Fenrir in the premium version. Now you don't have the front flipper like the original one. I heard some people saying they wish they did that. I'm actually glad they didn't. I think that the way they tuned the detent on this with the button works, with the thumb studs works so well. And I'm not sure the front flipper would have been as enjoyable as you guys think. And I think they knocked this one out of the park. I've done a little bit of test. I just recently got it, so I haven't done much testing on it, but I've done a little bit. And yeah, they did a really good job with their lock geometry on this particular button, at least from the example I have.
Yeah, and I love that we have a little bit of a cutout for the button so it doesn't stand too proud.
Yeah.
14C28N, like you said.
Love it.
Great budget steel,
Love
good
it,
balance. Yeah. This one's G10 and the rose gold, and then this guy's the green micarta with the black stonewash.
Yeah, one cool thing about 14C is that because it was made for mass production for companies to mass produce a steel, you can pretty much guarantee it's going to be a good heat treatment, which is important, when you're going to get a steel. So yeah, very awesome.
Very exciting. These are our exclusives, and they are going for $56.89. So a fairly budget-friendly price point as well.
For sure.
I do love that one. And
Yeah,
I believe that one made one of your lists this last year of best of the year.
Yeah, it made my budget knives best of the year for 2020. Even though it came out near the end, after getting my hands on it, and I already knew how much I liked, the premium one, so it made sense.
Yeah, now going from the budget side to very fancy and premium.
Very fancy, yeah.
We got the LionSteel N.ONE.
And this one's special. Here, you can explain it.
Yeah, so I remember hearing this announced at SHOT Show a couple of years ago, and I was talking to Andrea Massoli over there from LionSteel. And
You're good with the names, ain't you?
No, I asked him. There's another Italian.
I have it written down here.
Yes, and he said, look for an open screw on this knife. And I can only find one, and it's on the removable flipper. But like everything else is hidden. The pocket clip, even the lock bar insert, everything is hidden. And apparently there's a tool in the box that allows you to access something in the backspace over here, but after that it's a puzzle. I have no idea how to take this knife apart.
Yeah, no, it looks really cool. And we've seen a few different companies doing this where they're doing the hardware-less knives, where you don't see any hardware and there's like a trick to taking them apart. I think it's cool. I think anything innovative in the knife world, I love. So I'm always here for it. And this, I can see the little nut inside there that you have to, turn to undo. I know Reate did something with the Jet number 9. It's kind of the same thing, like in the back of the backspacer. It's like a little thing you have to spin, and that brings the scales apart.
Yeah. So I don't know that this is the sort of thing that everybody's going to want. But I just love that companies like
They
Reate
do it.
and
They do it.
LionSteel,
Yeah, that's the thing.
like pushing the boundaries.
I like that it exists for sure.
Yeah, and I know from the work of, I think Reate and LionSteel are the big names in integrals. Like they were
true.
like the only companies doing it
a
not
while,
too long
yeah.
ago, and now it's sort of catching on.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
Very exciting. These ones are a bit pricey though, $499.99.
The clip's kind of interesting. It almost looks like it's a rolling clip, but it's not. There's a hole drilled directly into the clip, almost like a roller would be, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I almost wonder if you could put a tritium vial in that.
That's cool.
That'd be fun.
I wish some of the knives that have the slits for the tritium, I don't know if there's something like against them being able to put them in or install them. I know, what is it? Glow Rhino. They did some, but yeah, I just don't know why some companies will have the slits for it, but they don't ever send it with it. I don't know if there's something legality reasons because of the material.
I think it's just people are like, you can't ship radioactive
That's what I mean.
stuff.
Right.
I know the same thing with zirconium because it's used as insulation for fuel rods.
Okay.
But we're starting to see some zirconium from overseas, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes. All right. Next up, keeping it Italian, StraightLine EDC.
I really like this one. This
yeah.
is cool.
So we got a whole bunch. We just brought these two. We have the Ally and the Ernie, E-R-N-Y. I don't know what that means.
Sheep's foot in a Warncliffe.
Yep. I think the Ernie is this guy, and the Ally is this more Warncliffe. These ones come from a company that was started by Igor Bortolucci, who you might remember from MKM. He used to be the MKM marketing guy. And now he's sort of taken his passion and knowledge for knives and started his own. And the entire Italian knife world in Maniago is kind of a family. They manufacture all together, and MKM, in fact, is a big team up of all of them.
Yeah.
And this just feels like a love letter to Italian knife making to me.
Well, I love this. This is like the perfect size for an EDC fixed blade. The blade, and then it's slicey. So it's not like super thick where it doesn't feel like it's going to cut. This is going to cut. And while it might be like about a 3.5 finger knife, you can absolutely get all 4 on there. And really, if you needed to bear down, but with a blade like this, you're mostly doing utility cuts and pinch grips. So I think this thing will work so well for just a little, fixed blade, that you carry. And I like the sheath. I like the magnetic sheath too.
So we've seen this a bit from MKM a little bit, where they have this leather sheath with a magnet closure to put around your pocket. But this one's kind of cool.
What do you think about it? Do you like that?
It needs a little bit of break-in. I will tell you that. I own a couple of knives that use this sheath, and I'll tell you, it is a bit stiff because that magnet really grabs the knife. But as the leather breaks in,
it becomes like a pocket.
Yes, and I will say one of the best pieces of advice I've heard of leather sheath is if it's perfect on the day one, it will be too loose in a month. But if it's tight now, it'll be perfect in a month.
It's kind of like leather boots, same way.
Yep, but other than that, it's ambidextrous, and this one also has a second place, so if you wanted to put it up there and throw it on your belt, you can do that as well.
That's cool. I love the stitching on that sheath, man.
Yeah.
Looks great.
Very nicely
Great leather,
done
too.
indeed. Smells good.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta love the smell of leather.
Gotta.
And then lastly is the knife that I just associate the most with you. I know you, but like.
Really?
When I discovered Neve's knives, it was with that. I think it's at like 26 million views now or something.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but I know it's up there.
Yeah, this is the Reate EXO-M, and this is our exclusive version with the aluminum handle and the Nitro V blade. A little more accessible, $129 on the price point.
Yeah, this is awesome. It's so lightweight because the titanium ones obviously are a little bit heavier. This is so lightweight, but it's so intuitive. And I don't know if this is a new finish or not. It might not be, but this dagger one, at least with the double edge, has a beautiful satin finish on it.
Nice gleam to it.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. And it's almost like it's offset from one side to the other. So it really stands out to me.
Yes.
I like that Blade Issue did this exclusive, man. This is
I do
this is a really
too.
cool
There's
piece.
like those titanium ones. There's like 2 integral pieces, and it got pretty up there in price. But this aluminum brings it down. And we have a restock on black. We've seen that before, and then this aluminum tan is the brand new color for now. And these ones always go pretty quick because people are after this mechanism.
I love it, so I understand completely. And I like the different switch, because the original had, the switch it had, which is completely different than this one. So this one feels a little bit more intuitive.
Yeah, I do like it.
Both of them are good, though, so.
Yeah, I believe this switch got its debut on the EXO-U, the utility bladed one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I'm glad it made it to the actual knife.
Yeah, no, me too. Me too, for sure.
I love magnets. I'm a weirdo.
I actually do, too. I love magnets. So does my wife. She loves magnets.
Yeah.
She's a magnet fan, too.
All right. Well, Jared, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
This is an awesome time. And thank you all for watching. And once again, thank you, SOG, for our wonderful sponsorship today, and we will see you all next time.